please like and subscribe.
Welcome back to another Crypto Bros
And a Holly girl.
podcast number 77.
Yeah, so how was everybody's week? Crazy?
Busy
Yeah.
like
fast.
normal.
Yeah, mine's been insane. Myself, and we're going to get into that when we get to the good, the bad, and the ugly. But before we do that, so a couple things that have been going on. One of them that I think is hilarious. But before we get to the hilarious thing, so Safemoon has been updating their LP, and I saw today, and we're recording this on Thursday, October 5th, by the way, BBTF, the trading has been turned off. I believe, Holly, you said Mirror Protocols trading's been turned off too.
Yeah, they sent out a tweet that before actually BBTF did that they've paused trading on all the mirror protocols.
So what do we know about that? Do we know why that is?
No, I mean, I haven't heard anything. So because of that, I started like looking around as to what is happening, right? Like, because yeah, this morning I started looking at the charts and stuff, and all of the MPs were down at least 50% within the 24 hours. So I started investigating the XRP one just because it's kind of a newer one and not a whole lot of data. And so I extracted it from BSC scan, and I noticed that there is a wallet that was transferred 889 million XRP MP tokens. And so then I was like, well, this is weird, right? So I started looking into that even more, and 13 minutes after it was transferred, they started selling just, a little bit at a time. And I'm not sure why they would sell a little bit at a time. I'm not really sure why that started happening, but that's the reason that the chart went down. So then I was like, okay, so let me look into the wallet that sent over the 889 million to this wallet. And that wallet's weird all in itself as well, because every transaction is solely the mirror protocols. And so like this person was compounding and doing all that, because you could see it all on BSC scan. So
It's hard to hide.
it's very hard to hide. So, I mean, the only thing I don't know is who it is, or what it could be. And so I don't want to like get into speculation of what I believe. But it started just raising questions of, could this be because they're preparing for, to go to the Safemoon swap, but I just don't see that being a viable solution to that. I don't see why you would sell. I don't know. There's just so much oddness going on with both those wallets that I'm just not completely sure what's happening. Or, I mean, XRP MP isn't even on the Safemoon swap yet.
Right.
So why would they pause trading on that? I'm just so very confused, and I honestly, for myself and for a whole lot of other people, because people are panicking out there. Because I mean, you see the chart go down like that and you're like, wait, what is happening, right? And so, you have some that are like, oh, it's a rug pull, and then you have some that are like, oh, it's a hack. I hope it's not a hack. I hope that it's just an investor who bought tokens and are selling it for profit or for whatever reason. That's none of our business. It just seems very odd to me. And so for me, I have so many questions and zero answers. And I feel like the communication level should have been a lot better than what it has been. But
Well, the
I
one
mean,
thing
I guess.
yeah, and the one thing I did see on that too is that when they made the announcement that trading had been stopped, is one of the things that kept popping up over and over and over again was people like, okay, can we get some more info? Like,
Right.
what's this mean?
And being, holders, I think that that's not so much to ask for. They may not have an answer. However, you come out and say, right now we're looking into it, or if it's part of the Safemoon swap, say it.
Yeah.
Say it. And it's very frustrating because I see, a lot of different angles at this. Like, some people are like, let's be patient. I was one of them. Let's not jump to conclusions because we don't know. We need to wait for the team. However, it's been about 6 hours now and we still haven't gotten any update as to what's going on. So I just personally wouldn't have handled it that way. It's not my project, so it is what it is. It's just disappointing in my opinion. And people may get mad at me for saying that, but I have an opinion and I'm going to share it.
Well, and here's the thing. That's the whole thing that's great about this, right? Is we can all have our individual opinions. But no matter what our opinion is, we're not going to just sit out there and look to attack somebody. But I do think at the same time, though, when you talk about patience, is people have ran out of patience. I'm not talking about just these projects. I mean in general, because
in crypto as a whole, yes.
Yeah, because the people that have sat back and have had patience with, and I mean, I'm talking about hundreds and thousands of different projects, have got wrecked almost all the time when they've had patience, Yeah. And so I get it, and it's okay, and it goes back to the old cliche of this is why I don't invest more than I can afford to lose type thing. It's sort of the same thing that we talked about when we met up in Vegas. I don't gamble more than I can afford to lose because it's purely entertainment. I don't look at cryptos like that, but
I'm glad you won your house back, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Put that thing on black. I'm glad black hit because. But the other thing with that too is, Holly, I think maybe the smart thing to do with this is let's keep an eye on that wallet this week. Let's see what's going on, and then we'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
we'll talk about it again next week.
Yeah, like I'm a record keeper for this reason. I mean, I love the analytics of it all. And so it's, I save everything. Like I save everything. I have wallets that, I've mapped them to people. And I don't care. That's what the blockchain is for. If you can read it, if you can understand it, you utilize that for your own benefit. And that is the best advice I think I could give in this cryptocurrency space.
Smart.
Well, and
you're like the Batman of the blockchain.
Yeah.
And people estimate me and think they don't know, that and I'd rather it be that way. That, just don't believe that I know anything and we're good. Like,
well, that's what I was going to say, Holly. You come off, and everybody knows that you're super positive and you always have those morning tweets and things like that. But one of the things that a lot of people don't know about you that we do is that you are super smart when it comes to reading a blockchain. And you are somewhat of a sleuth when it comes to different things that are going on. Because I also am an analytics guy. Like, I think that's something that you and I had in common from day one, and we talked about that. I can remember standing out on my patio for hours, and we'd be talking about different things when it came to the analytics. But when it comes to getting into the blockchain and actually like investigating it, I have yet to meet very many people that can match the effort that you put in, but also the intelligence that goes along with it. So
I was going to say it is time consuming. However, like I have, spreadsheets that I make. You can download, you can export the BSC scan straight to an Excel spreadsheet. And then I have formulas in there that I've built for myself that tell me exactly what it's doing, how much money it's equivalent to. If it doesn't show that, like, it's just all like, it's fun for me. And I realized it back at the beginning that I really enjoy this kind of stuff. However, I don't know if I would ever want to make it a job because it would take away the fun from me.
I hear you.
People probably think I'm nuts because numbers are my jam. And that's actually really fun. It's fun for me to look at this stuff. But you'll never see me go out and blast a wallet for doing anything because that to me is always still like their private, it's their business. They bought the tokens, whatever, if they did. So I just really enjoy that kind of stuff.
Well, we'll go back and look at that next week and kind of see what the activity was and if it has anything to do with the shutdown of the trading. And it could be something very positive. We don't know at this moment, but we'll keep our eyes on it and we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah, I just really am like, okay, so when they turn when they turn back on, shit, I can't even talk today. The trading, is that wallet going to continue to sell? That's the biggest,
That will
like,
be interesting to
that's what
find
I
out.
keep my eye on is as soon as, it comes back on, I'm going to watch that wallet.
Yep.
And then it's like if they want to sell and they have, all those tokens, 889 million, good for you. Shit. Like, I mean, do what you got to do. That's where I'm at this point with all of crypto. Do what you have to do.
I'm sure at some point, if somebody was watching my wallet, that I would have done something out of pure luck that may have looked like I had some sort of inside information, or I can think of some time with ETH that I made some sells right before it tanked and things like that. But sometimes you get lucky, and maybe that's what this is. But I think by next week we'll be able to figure it out for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I have a feeling that when they turn on trading, we'll be able to somewhat see, what's going on.
Yeah, if that wallet's blacklisted, we'll know something's up.
Well, and that's the thing. I don't know, like, is that even legal to do?
Without proof, I would think not, but I don't know.
And that's what's really just
It's a Wild West.
odd to me about, that's why I'm like, they stopped trading, and it's not because one wallet started selling. It can't be. It can't be.
No.
I don't know. I have so many questions. I mean, when I do get the time today, I do want to go into the other two, BTC and BNB, to see if it's the same wallet.
Oh.
But it doesn't look like it to me. There looks like there was many different transactions with different wallets. So I mean, I haven't gotten that far yet because I do actually have a day job. And so I probably spent a little too much time on this today, but I was really curious.
No, that's good information. It really is.
She's always watching the wallets.
Yeah.
She's always like, "Are you sure you wanted to buy that token? I saw that."
Honestly, I'm always watching charts. Like, it's not even a specific project or, within the Safemoon ecosystem. It's a lot of, because I hold different things, right? I hold ADA, XRP, XLM. So I look into those charts just as much as I look into the Safemoon ecosystem charts.
Yeah, true story, because I can remember some times where other tokens either spiked or dropped, and we talked about that, and you were like, yeah, so I looked into this and blah, blah, blah. And most of the time, though, honestly, it was either somebody just bought a lot or somebody sold a lot.
Yeah.
Which
and that's
is
really what it is.
Yeah, that's totally up to them. So as we move on, I do want to throw a shout out there to our friends over at Vitreus. They continue to get some monster partnerships out there. And this week they partnered up with Plaid, who, if you've bought very much crypto or you've been around the space, you've ran into this company, whether you realize it or not. So they just continue to keep rolling things out. And man, I'm excited to see where this thing goes.
I'm so excited. And the only reason why is because it feels like every day they're saying,
It really
okay,
does feel that way.
This is our new partner. And I'm like, holy crap, they're killing it with all of these partners. And when you start to look into who they're partnering with, because that's another thing that I like to do, they're pretty big players.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting. Really exciting. And then, of course, you don't have that expectation of when they're going to launch. You already know, because they put it out there a long time ago. We're going through stages pre-sale. It's not until, I think they said November, if I can remember correctly, is when launch is actually going to be.
I believe so.
To remember,
I want to say it was November, and it's like a random day. I feel like they said, I don't know, but I think it's in November.
Well, and also, one of the things that people that have been with us for a while now, as we're on episode 77, we're big people. That's weird, I had to say. But we root for people, and we've met a lot of awesome people out there, in person, just by doing interviews. But man, how could you root against the people behind this project? There's some great people there.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, there's people that are rooting against them, which is mind-blowing.
I know, but I got no time for those people.
No, because
You know.
they're actually, I don't know. I'm really excited for Vitreus.
Me
I
too.
think that they're going to be a thing. I really do.
Yeah, so shout out to those guys. Just wanted to mention them because let's be honest, over the last few weeks, last few months, there hasn't been a lot going on, good or bad. So just shout out to those projects that are still grinding, and still getting after it.
Yeah. Real quick before we move on to the good, bad, ugly. Did you guys see today that the SEC is going to start looking into Elon Musk buying Twitter?
Yes.
I heard that. Yeah.
So here's the thing, and I promise you guys I will not go on a rant. But anytime an individual or corporation or an organization or whatever has something going on that's different than the government's agenda, investigation. And Elon has been pretty open about, hey, everyone has a voice on this platform, whether you agree with them or not. And I don't think the powers that be enjoy that. And so they're going to go after him. And I think he's smart enough to know that was coming.
Oh, 100%. He saw it coming.
Yeah. So I'm not worried about it. But just know when you have that person that is going against the grain, the powers that be are going to jump on that and try to get them under their thumb again. So
Yep.
before we get to the good, the bad, and the ugly, though, one funny story that I came across that I wanted to talk about is, so raise your hand if you're a football fan, NFL fan. Okay? Raise your hand if you're an NBA fan. I'm about right here.
Yeah, a little.
Okay.
Soccer?
So
Golf?
soccer, okay, golf. Raise your hand if you're a Major League Baseball fan. And I'm going to be kind of
A little bit
here a little
more.
bit still.
Oh.
So
I know.
here's Major League Baseball. So more and more and more, and this really does, I know this doesn't affect all markets, but this does affect the Kansas City market. They used to be able to turn on the television, and when I say used to, I'm talking like 2 to 3 years ago, and watch every game. Okay? Occasionally there would be a primetime game, especially when we were good, where it would be on a station that I didn't get or whatever. But I'm talking like being able to watch 140 out of 162 games.
That's insane. That's
Okay.
too much.
Agreed with you. But now...
Much too much.
But now, if I want to watch the Royals play, I have to subscribe to Bally Sports, which is an insane amount of money for a team that lost 110 games, basically. I don't think they won.
Bally went.
What?
I thought Bally went bankrupt.
Well, it was Bally, whoever it is now. I don't know. But my point to this is the greed is getting so much in sports that it's comical. Okay, first of all.
Yeah.
But there was a playoff game either yesterday or the day before. I think it was Tuesday. Playoff baseball. Okay. 19,000 people showed up to watch that game.
It.
That's
The Rays.
it.
Yeah.
At Tampa Bay, 19,000. Now, they'll spin it as, well, they need a new stadium, and that's just why people aren't coming. I'm going to tell you, when the Royals made the playoffs, they could have had that game at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it would have been sold out.
Yeah.
Now I think they've made it so hard, and I hope the other sports catch on to this, that if you make it so hard for the casual fan to watch, people are not going to jump on your bandwagon when you're having that great season. 19,000, I think they said it was the least attended playoff game since 1916, something like that. But that's insane. And I just
I need Taylor Swift to show up.
Right. There you go.
Oh,
She-
50.
should get 90,000 people show up to Arrowhead.
Yeah.
But anyways, I just want to throw that out there because I feel like there's a lot of greed, and I think it's kind of funny when you get so greedy that this is what ends up happening. And I just want the other sports to take a step back, college sports included, with the transfer portals and all that stuff where people are making money, and I'm happy for people to make money, but you have to still make it affordable enough for the average guy to be able to go watch you. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. So,
Yeah. So can I just touch on something really quick?
yeah.
And how about them Diamondbacks? They you guys, they were terrible. They weren't very good all season. And then last week, in order to get into the playoffs, they needed to win. And then I believe they needed the Cubs to lose. And they're like, that's not going to happen. And it happened. And now they're in the playoffs and have won the first 2 games.
Yeah, they
And
won the
so-
wild card round.
Yeah, I'm so proud of them because once upon a time, the Diamondbacks used to be really good.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
not long ago. They kind of fell off, and now I feel like maybe this little spark is coming back for the playoffs. And I have to add, the playoffs, because there's 160 games, are my favorite time
Yeah.
because they're most exciting. So really, I only watch if I'm at a bar and it's on, or B, during the playoffs. So I'm excited that our Diamondbacks made it.
Well, congratulations to your Diamondbacks because they were one of 4 teams to sweep in the wild card series I saw, which is insane.
Yeah.
So, and I'll be honest, I'm one of the few people that actually missed the 1-game wild card games, like when the Royals and the A's played, and it went. I have a poster on my wall that you can't see. It says Salvation, and it says 30th of September 2014, and it's the diagram of the scorebook when Salvi hit the single over the third baseman, and the guy scored in like the 11th or 12th inning. I don't remember what it was because I can't see. It says it at the bottom, but my eyes aren't that good. But that was awesome because it was 1 game. It's like basically a game 7. You just play 1 game over, one moves on. And the Royals that year won that game and didn't lose again until they made it to the World Series. They just went on, and baseball's funny like that. You can just hit a hot streak and watch out. So maybe that'll be the Diamondbacks this year.
I hope so.
As long as the
hope-
Astros don't win, I don't really care, to be honest with you, though. I don't like cheaters.
Oh, are they cheaters?
They
I
were. They got
Oh.
busted cheating. All right, so let's jump into the good, the bad, and the ugly if you guys want to.
Let's do it.
All right, so this week on the good, the bad, and the ugly, we're going to change it up a little bit because, as I mentioned earlier, crypto has kind of been at this standstill. Not a whole bunch of highs, not a whole bunch of lows. And I don't want to keep getting into the negative effects of the SEC and the government and things like that. So this week, and maybe for the next few weeks, we're going to change it up a little bit, and we're going to do the good, the bad, the ugly in categories. And this week's category is about moving. Okay, so I'm actually getting ready to move, and I'm going through some of this stuff. And as I was doing it, and things were making me mad, and my wife and I were arguing about stupid stuff that we never argue about, and just all the headaches, I thought we might go through the good, the bad, and the ugly of moving. So in my opinion, the only thing really good about moving is the fact that you get to get rid of clutter. Because
Yes.
if I'm loading the truck, I do not want to load stuff that we
Fire.
don't need. Yeah, let's have a dumpster fire and let's
On
get it
fire.
going.
Burn it. Burn it.
Yeah, so and I'm not really I'm not so OCD that everything has to be perfect, but I do believe everything has a place. And
Yes.
I don't like to see something that's supposed to be over here in the living room. Like, it's just, my brain can't relax. Like, if I'm going to sit down and watch a movie, everything needs to be where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I can't give it my full attention. So, the funny story is that's the reason I have an office in my house, because the rest of my house really isn't that way. So I finally said, okay, my oldest daughter moved out. I'm taking her bedroom. It's my office. No one else gets to go in there. And if we can't keep the rest of the house where it needs to be, then I can go hide in there and at least I can relax. So
Compromise.
getting into that, so I'm all about getting rid of clutter. Awesome. Okay. Now, the
Yeah.
bad part about it is when men and women move, I believe it is a different experience for the different sexes. Okay. Because my wife, she will help me
My
with
wife.
stuff. Okay. She will help me move things. But she's this big around and she can't lift heavy things.
Yeah.
But she'll pack a box that weighs 250 pounds and go, hey, will you take that to the truck? And of course, I will. But to me, the bad part about moving is being completely physically exhausted when it's done. It's not just the actual moving and loading the trucks as much as it is like taking everything off the walls and out of the closets and having to just get it to where you can pick it up and move it. But by the time, every time I've ever moved, by the time I get to the new place, I set the bed up, take a shower, go to bed, tackle the rest of it in the morning because I don't have anything left. Like, that's it. So to me, that's the bad. And I will say, because men and women look at it a little bit different, there can be some arguing going on from time to time because I'm exhausted. And when I get exhausted, I get angry, I guess is the best way to say it.
So do you need to apologize right now, or?
No, actually, my wife apologized to me. Okay,
What, you didn't apologize back?
so let's just go back into the ugly. We'll talk about this apology. So the ugly for this move in particular is my wife has been wanting us to have a garage sale for the last 8 years, and I absolutely refuse because I hate garage sales. But I said, okay, we'll do it as long as whatever is left, we donate. We get rid of it. We're not bringing it back into the house. Whatever goes in that garage, it goes out the other garage. We will donate the rest of it. And she said, okay. But men and women also look at garage sales way different. So I look at a garage sale as this is stuff that we do not need, that we do not care about, that we are selling for like $1. So if somebody wants to buy 2 of those things, I might give them 2 for $1. Whereas my wife goes, no, we're going to be millionaires after this garage sale, selling all the crap that we don't want. Case in point, which caused a lot of grief today, which I think we've made up via text message, but I don't know.
Did you apologize? She apologized.
I absolutely refuse to apologize.
What?
So here's the
That's not how
story.
that works.
We have a lot of wrought iron furniture, and the place that we're moving to does not have a place to put this furniture. And hopefully everybody knows what wrought iron furniture is. It's like stuff you put on your patio. It's outdoor furniture. And it was free. It was given to us. Okay. So we decided we were going to sell it. Not a big deal. She begged me to put this on Facebook, which I did a day early. And all of a sudden, my phone blows up all day. People wanting to know what this costs. What do you want for that? This and that. Can I buy that? And I'm like, the sale's tomorrow, but sure, I really want to get rid of this furniture. If you're serious, super serious about buying it, I'm good. So we don't really haggle on the price. I don't know what we sell the wrought iron furniture for. I was assumed give it away to my friends, and this is somebody that I know. So we decided on a price. I won't get into the specifics. And my wife calls, and I tell her, hey, I sold the wrought iron furniture.
Oh, no.
And her first question was, well, how much did you get for it? And I told her, and she yelled at me. And I don't take kindly to that. So I raised my voice.
I don't
but let me say,
boxing gloves on.
let me say this. It's 100% profit. It was free. We did not pay for this. And I'm the guy that every year has to hose it off and scrub it down and repaint it if need be and put the time and the effort into it. So I'm like, we got rid of it. And yeah, that didn't go over very well. So I have decided that tomorrow, when the actual garage sale starts and people ask me how much things cost, I'm going to say, I don't know. Ask that lady. I'm just here to count money and make sure that you do not rape her. That's it.
Oh,
Oh my God.
That's it.
I mean,
Grief.
whoa.
Because
escalated.
I am only here
Wow.
for like my physical presence, apparently, so that I can move and lift things. But I am not
You gonna
allowed
edit that, Josh?
to negotiate prices on furniture. So there you have it.
So funny. That's the
Also,
best.
I have to
Okay.
tell you this story just because it hits home. I have 2 daughters. The communication is not awesome. Okay. I put a picture of some things that we were selling. They call their mom mad because they wanted them. Apparently had told Stephanie this, but nobody told me. And last night she's like, yeah, we need to sell that. We need to sell this. So when I put it on Facebook, my kids see it and now they're mad. I can't win.
Not sold
It
yet,
just needs
though.
to be over. Yeah, it hasn't sold. I was like, we didn't sell it. It's all fine. They can have it. I don't care. I literally don't care about the money. Like, I just need it out of my house. Anyways,
Yeah.
I'm over the garage sale. I promise you guys, with
Hasn't even
every
started.
fiber of my being, yeah, this thing doesn't even start for another like
Hey,
14 hours. We are never having another garage sale.
you just gotta let
This is
her do it
therapy
all,
time.
and you're just there to haul the rest off when it's done.
No,
There you go.
See,
That's the way I do it.
I'm fine with that, but don't tell me to put things on Facebook and then people start calling me, and our goal is
No,
to
she needs
sell
to do
the
that.
stuff, right? So I did. And
You did it wrong.
I know, but it was 100% profit.
Yep.
So whatever. I
That's
hate
when you
garage
go,
sales.
no, honey, you put it on Facebook.
yeah. I would rather get rid of it
Mm-hmm.
rather than sell it. If you want it, take it. Because I just am not, I don't have the patience for it. I
Me
don't
either.
have.
For what you really get out of it,
Yeah.
Well, then
Well,
that's
Not worth
just
their time.
give it away.
Now
Yeah.
we're not going to get enough though, guys, because I done screwed up the whole garage sale. Just so you know,
You got a lot of making
it's a
up to
losing
do.
proposition now. And I had
I
a buddy
can't
of me,
retire.
a buddy of mine, call me and say, "Hey, what else do you have there?" And I told him, and he's a mechanic by trade, and I have some oil and stuff, which is a long story why I have so much oil. And he said, "Well, how much do you want for it?" And I said, "Dude, I'm just trying to get rid of it. It's $1 a quart." And he goes, "I'll take it." Because oil is expensive, right? But
Yeah.
I don't care. It's $1 a
how-
quart. And for the record, for everybody out there, for everybody out there that's worried about my safety, my wife and I agreed on the price of that. All right, so I'm good.
For sure.
Yeah. But I told him, I said, "Listen, dude, you're one of my best friends in the entire world, and I feel really, really bad just not giving it to you because I don't need it. But after the wrought iron furniture incident, you're going to pay me money for this oil." And
Yeah.
he said, "I will gladly pay you money to help you get you out of the doghouse." So I was like,
I'll sleep on the couch.
screw this garage sale stuff, though. Never again, guys. I promise you, it's not happening. I will never have a garage sale again. So
Wow.
that's it. That's the good, the bad, the ugly this week. So kind of serious in my brain, but I hope everybody else understands or finds it funny. But I think we're gonna do that for the next few weeks, anyways, unless we get into some good stuff. Just because I don't want it to be super negative every week. And I loved our podcast last week, but I felt like the ugly kind of got ugly. And I'm like, it's too ugly. It needs to be a little bit of humor involved. So that's where we're at.
It's time for Caleb's choice.
His choice.
His rules.
All right. First question. What do you most look forward to about getting older?
Garage sales.
That was my guess.
Older.
We're all getting older.
Well, you say look forward to getting older. I feel like I already am older.
I feel like I'm look forward to continuing to not really give a shit about certain things. Like I feel like the older you get, the more you stop caring about these little petty things
The little
stuff.
things.
Yeah, I'm ready to start. I'm ready to start stopping caring about some just petty
Yeah.
BS. You know.
That's actually,
I agree.
I'm already there with that, but that is the thing that I enjoy the most about being older is that those little things do not bother me. And I had a conversation this week with somebody, and at the end of it, what I said is, listen, I don't really care what people think about me, but I do care about my reputation. And I know those sound like they're kind of button heads, but that's where I'm at. Like, I want people to know my heart, so my reputation matters, but I really don't care what you think about me. So that's what I enjoy about being older. Let's just say that. What about you, Greg? You young whippersnapper.
Gosh, I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Is Toys R Us even still a thing?
What's it
It
feel like
is.
being old?
Oh, I
It
think
is.
they shut down. Nuh-uh.
Yeah, it's still up in Kansas City.
What?
Toys R Us?
I've seen it within the last year. I know that.
I know the one in
warehouse is,
Springfield,
the store's
Missouri.
not.
Yeah, I know the one in Springfield, Missouri closed down like 5 or 6 years ago. Maybe
I think
even
it's just
longer than
all online stuff now.
Is
There's
it?
one in San Jose, California.
that. Yeah, it
See,
must
it's
be
still a
operational.
thing.
Maybe they brought it back. I know they closed it down for a while.
There's one in Overland Park, just down the road.
Okay, it's back.
Oh, and it says, oh, that was last year. It just says Toys R Us reopens in 9 states and more locations are coming. I love
Okay.
the freaking, I remember when I was little and the Toys R Us stores were the shit.
I thought their
Yeah,
board
they
game
were.
selection was second to none. They used to have board games you could never find. Of course, that was before the internet, but
Oh, I loved that game store.
so what are you
All
looking
right.
forward to, Greg?
I would have to say if I had to choose something, I guess to look forward to as I get older, it would be grandkids.
Oh, I love that. That's
Yeah.
a good one.
That'd
Josh
be
is
good.
like, no, check, please.
I love.
I like the
love
part
kids.
that before the
Yeah.
grandkids, which is like they have to move out.
But
But
yeah, they better be. Yeah.
yeah, if they have
Yeah.
grandkids while they're still in your
No,
house, Greg,
not
then
in my house. No, I want to visit
That's
them
super
and then go
iffy.
home.
Yeah,
Bring them gifts.
I would look forward to spoiling them and then leaving. I want to pump them full of Mountain Dew and like I don't know, sugar candies and then leave at 11 o'clock at night.
Here's a butterscotch, kids.
What about you, Caleb?
Probably just seeing my kids grow up, just watching them as they mature and see what they end up doing in life.
That's, yeah.
That kind of
that's
stuff.
very
Yeah.
cool.
I don't really care what people think about me, so I'm just I just
Me
want to watch my
neither.
kids. Yeah.
It's a good.
So the next question is a would you rather spend a week in the forest or a weekend in the haunted house?
I want to do both.
I do too.
I mean, either way.
I guess you do both.
Yeah, I want to do both.
Yeah, I would totally do both. Maybe it's a haunted house in the freaking forest.
Okay.
There you go.
Road trip.
Resident
I'll find
Evil
one.
7 Biohazard.
I did see up in Overland Park, which is a suburb of Kansas City, where they have an adult haunt walk, which is basically they turn this walking path through the woods into this haunted thing, but it's for adults only. So I don't really know what happens up there, but
Yeah.
Oh,
it looked pretty
What you
cool.
talking about? I think you got to sign a waiver. Honestly.
Yeah, I do. You do have to.
Yeah. I've never been there, but I've heard about it.
Yeah.
You should do it and let us know. Do a review.
Let's
I'll
all
take my
forward, yeah.
wife.
do it. That's fun. Well, I mean,
Yes.
we don't have to participate, but it would be interesting to see what the hell is going on the adult walk.
I'll film it. I'll wear that mic we got for Vegas, and I'll film it, walk around, and
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, with that one, what's the weirdest Halloween costume you've ever worn?
The weirdest.
oh, I got one.
What do you got?
Want me to go again first?
Sure.
So I actually made my own costume this one time because my wife dressed up as Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, and I dressed up because I thought it would be funny as the Yellow Brick Road. And I made it out of a box and painted it all yellow and made it look like bricks. And I had like yellow long sleeved and painted my face and all that stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Go.
But it was the
That's-
most uncomfortable costume I've ever worn in my life.
Did
But
you
it-
sit down in that or no?
not very well.
Okay.
I stood up a lot. Couldn't get in the car with it either. I had to put it on in the parking lot.
I was thinking when we were kids, we had that plastic costume.
Yeah.
It had like it was like a little plastic vest, and then you had this like balloon thing on your head.
Yeah, it
was
tied
like, a
like
giant pumpkin or witch.
we
Or,
were like this, and it tied
Yeah, you
it
tied
to
it
your
around
chin,
your
and
head.
it was like this giant balloon thing on your head. I can't. They had a name, but I can't remember what they were called. Those were
Yeah.
funny. What about you
What
guys?
about you, Greg?
Well, I grew up not doing Halloween.
Oh,
We don't
really?
do Halloween. Yeah, we don't do Halloween. But after I was 5 years old, I never did. And I think I wore a Beetlejuice outfit as a 5-year-old. So
Gotcha.
that has to be the weirdest one then.
Yeah.
I think mine was I was a crazy clown. Like, I don't know. I was just a crazy clown. Whiskey would have hated me.
Was it the
But I-
same costume that you wore to Walgreens?
Yes.
I was thinking about
Oh,
that.
was it?
Yes. I was
Like-
wondering.
Yeah, so it was definitely that. And then, but I had like a little wig that was really short, that was blonde, like bleach blonde, and then my whole face was white, and I had like, it was really cool. But that's probably the weirdest I've ever gone. Because growing up, like when I was little, I was Snow White literally every single year. I was probably 13 when I stopped being Snow White because my grandma always said she looks just like Snow White because I have really dark hair and then like dark eyebrows and stuff, and yeah, so I was just always Snow White.
Awesome.
That's cool.
What's
Yeah.
your question for us, Holly?
Good one, because I don't even know. Why does hair turn darker even though water is clear?
Why does what turn darker?
Oh.
Hair.
You went scientific.
Yeah. I
Uh-huh.
was thinking about that because when I have
Just-
wet hair, you can't even tell I'm blonde. I look like I have all dark hair.
I would
Oh, I
guess
gotcha. I
that
wasn't following you for a second.
it like soaks it like a sponge and compacts.
It's got to be,
And
yeah, something with
your
that
hair
makes the
follicles,
way
like-
the light reflects off of it because it's more compact and not
That's what I would
poofy
guess.
or whatever. Yeah,
Soaks it in.
See?
I'm with Greg.
That
Greg's
is,
smart.
yeah, Greg's smart. I don't know why either. I have no idea. I just, yeah.
Challenging.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
I think
my-
we solved a world mystery right there.
Or
Yes.
Thankful for
There's
Greg and his
something
smart.
in the water that reacts with the,
The
hair.
chemical reaction.
A chemical reaction. Could
Probably.
maybe that.
That's
I'm gonna go with
that-
the first one.
Yeah, I'd go with the first one.
With gray hair, if you wet gray hair, does it get darker?
Are you looking at me when you say that, Caleb?
Oh, might be.
Well, I was looking at your chin.
Yeah.
I have some.
Well,
Me
I was
too, me
actually
too.
supposed to get this all trimmed up today, but my day kind of went to hell in a handbasket and I had to cancel. So I'm going to do it next week.
You got your butt chewed.
Okay.
Stupid garage sales.
We got
We
5
gotta-
Yeah.
to do
Oh,
cryptic corner.
Yeah, let's do the cryptic corner.
cryptic corner.
Well, today on Cryptic Corner, I'm going to ask you guys what your top weirdest conspiracy that you guys actually believe in, or even give an ounce that you believe in, just a tiniest bit.
Weirdest.
I think I know what Holly's is. Go ahead, Holly.
Mine is definitely that Paul McCartney actually died, and this person is not actually the real Paul McCartney.
I meant to tag you on something, Holly. I saw just the other day. They were showing his earlobes like before the car crash and after, and they are not the same.
See?
They are not the same. They're not even
I
close.
agree with that. I've looked at that one too. I totally agree. That's not the same person.
Yep, I think you're right, Holly.
There's just too many coincidences that all went down. I mean, how do you explain the newspaper and why would they recant that? And why do people why would they think that he was in a car crash? Why? Like,
Yeah.
there's something behind that. So I do believe that we're getting, we don't have the real Paul McCartney on our hands.
Well, and
but-
like you said, it was all based on money. There was too much money to be lost if the Beatles were just done.
And that's 100% fact. Look how much money they're worth.
Still, yeah.
Yeah, and if they were, Paul McCartney died, but I still feel like they still would have been something, right? Like something, even if they just said we're going to replace him with Joe, or you know what I mean? Like,
Joe.
I feel like, so I cannot remember, and I'll have to get back to you guys, but I feel like the name of the actual person that's playing, they released that. But I'll have to look into it a little more. It's been a long
I think you might be right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tell you what mine is, and this is something that's fairly new to me because it just keeps showing up on my feeds and the reels and different things like that. So the moon landing. I'm not saying that we didn't land on the moon, but what I am thoroughly convinced of is a lot of the footage that we have was actually not shot on the moon. because there's some really good arguments about radiation to the cameras that they had back then. The film would have never survived getting back to Earth. There's some really good like videos of them like falling down and then getting yanked right back up, like they're attached to a string in a set or whatever. So I'm not saying that we didn't go to the moon, but I am convinced that most, if not all, of the footage we have of us on the moon is not real. It's okay. It's real footage. It's just not on the moon. If that makes sense.
And so that famous footage of the lunar lander going back off the moon, like takeoff.
Who filmed that?
How did they get that film?
Yeah.
They couldn't transmit wirelessly back then, like not like that.
No, and it's not like it took off and came back and got the guy that filmed it. Or even if they left the camera there, they had no way to get that film. So you're right. I do believe that.
I hate that, but I do too.
I'm not saying, like I said though,
A lot of lies.
I'm not saying that they didn't go to the moon. I just believe what we see is not really the moon.
If they come out and say, oh, you know what, we've gone to the moon, but we lied and there's really no actual footage, I think I would be so pissed off. And then I would start to question, well, did we actually go to the moon? You know
That's
what
why
I mean?
they won't admit it.
Exactly. And I hate that because I just hate it. Like, stop lying to us. It should have never started. And now it's just never going to stop. So
Agreed.
Hey, you know what the Hebrew root of the word NASA means?
what?
It means to lead astray,
Oh,
to
shit.
seduce.
Stop.
That's what it means. Look it up.
Oh my gosh. Caleb,
It's
I
true.
remember that now.
I don't want to think about that.
That's the deep meaning of that word.
That makes me sick to my stomach. Go, Caleb. What's yours?
I think Bigfoot's real. I really do. I had a friend a few years ago that actually swore he saw one. He was a truck driver up in Washington, and he actually had one that walked across the road. He stopped and tried to get a picture of it, but he couldn't. He said it wasn't a bear, but it was human-like, and it had hair like a bear, and it was walked across the road. Scared the crap out of him.
They throw rocks, right?
A couple of things real quick. How come they wouldn't be, more people wouldn't be see them though? You know what I
don't know. Yeah.
And
Interdimensional?
That's my
But
argument.
there are recordings all around the world of Bigfoots and Sasquatches and Yetis and I don't know.
so a thing I think all of you guys would actually enjoy is a show called Encounter on Netflix. It kind of goes into, it's more about aliens and people who have seen the aliens and, you know, they tell their story. However, they do talk a lot about how they're all hushed and made to look like they're crazy. And so a lot of them didn't come out and say anything because they were told you're crazy. Like, and they had no, you know, because they were little tiny kids like that saw all this and are telling their story now as adults, and they're like, we just had to keep our mouths shut because everybody thought we were crazy, blah blah blah. And even now, like, they get harassed for even telling their story. But I think a lot of people don't tell their stories or what they see because people think they're crazy, and so it's just easier to keep your mouth shut because you're going to get a lot of heat from everywhere, like regular people and then plus the government. Like, so I think that maybe more people have seen like Bigfoot, you know, and just don't come out and say it because people are going to debunk, you know, try to debunk them and call them crazy.
I always think of that old guy in Independence Day.
Yeah.
He flies up.
Yeah.
Turns out that dude did turn out to be crazy.
Right. He's like, they're back.
They're back. And he's
They're
like,
back.
what? But he saved everybody with doing that.
He
did.
Yeah.
Well, the term conspiracy theorist was coined after Roswell.
Yeah.
That's what to make people sound crazy. It was never a thing until Roswell, and they wanted to make people sound crazy because people were digging too much.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the more you dig, the more you find shit like that, and that's you're gonna find something if you look hard enough.
That's why sometimes I just don't dig. because
Exactly.
sometimes I don't want to.
We'll leave that
You
to
just have a
me.
garage sale.
I don't mind digging.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have a
Right,
garage sale,
Shauna?
Caleb. All right, guys. Well, it's been fun as always, and it's been a crazy week, and it's going to continue to be crazy. But have a great weekend. Don't go to garage sales, and God bless.
Be kind.
I'm Caleb. Please like and subscribe.